Boys, we've got some bad news. Bungie just dropped a little update here stating that Beyond Light release window update. Essentially, we have made the decision to move the release date of Destiny 2 Beyond Light to November 10th. Deej continues, as the first chapter in the new trilogy of expansions, Beyond Light is the new beginning of a new era of Destiny 2. We have a powerful story to tell and incredible new features that we're really excited for players to experience. As always, our goal is to make the coolest, most entertaining expansion we can possibly make for our fans. To that end, we are doing what's best for the game and moving the launch date. The past few months have been a challenge and will continue to be during this pandemic. We've learned to create together in a new way by having to work apart from one another. Despite these hurdles, we're still committed to the same level of quality that our fans expect. Over the coming weeks, we'll be unveiling more of what we're working on for Beyond Light and what that also means for Season of Arrivals, which will now extend all the way to November 10th. Beyond Light sets the stage for an incredible future in Destiny 2, and though it's coming later than we originally anticipated, we're excited to continue that journey with you this November. So originally, guys, Beyond Light was supposed to launch September 22nd. In the past, Bungie has normally dropped their big annual expansions in September. And it wasn't until last year with Shadowkeep that we actually saw a delay, pushing back Shadowkeep's launch date to October 1st. Again, very unusual. I mean, for years now, we've seen September as pretty much Destiny month, right? There's just not many games that drop in September. So to me, I always thought it was very strategic the way they have the release date in September. And simultaneously, normally, by the time the holidays got around, there might even be like a price drop, right? At least on the big annual expansion, which is always really nice. A huge reason why I wanted Bungie to launch Beyond Light in September is because the game of the year, arguably, even though we haven't even played it yet, Cyberpunk 2077 was first going to be released September 17th, which I'm not gonna lie, fellas, just strategically thinking, I thought this was gonna be terrible for Destiny 2. But just a few weeks ago, they announced that they moved the release date to November 19th, which to me was like a hell yeah moment. Okay, I was like, thank God, no game wants to launch the same month as Cyberpunk. You just don't. You don't want to fight that game. And then Bungie turns around and literally moves to the same month that Cyberpunk moved to. Now, I get it. Okay, COVID, pandemics, everything like that has obviously put a kink in development. But this is by far the biggest delay that Bungie has ever done, which does two things. Number one, this may become more of a norm. Holiday releases like this may become more of a norm, which again, maybe Bungie's got more data. Maybe that's going to work out for them better. But like I said, September was always a sweet month for Bungie and Destiny 2 because it's just like, what else are you going to play? Other than like last year with Borderlands. And I'm not going to lie, I mean, we saw foreseeable delays in the future because Bungie has talked about how much they want to avoid crunch. Activision was notorious for imposing their will and for demanding for crunch because they want that annual release window to be the same every single year. But now that Bungie and Activision have split ways, Bungie can kind of like call their own shots. I guess the only question now is whether or not this is a strategic thing to do. I mean, obviously, we don't want to play a game that's unfinished, especially given how big this expansion is going to be. We got new subclasses. It's being very much compared to like the Taken King. Not only are they new subclasses, they're also darkness-based subclasses. So this is like entire new territory for Bungie. On top of that, they recently posted up that they were looking for a Sandbox designer. Was that the job listing? So Bungie's looking to hire somebody to work on Sandbox and probably to work on Sandbox now leading up to Beyond Light's release date. Now the question is, will we have another delay? Will we go past November 10th? Oh boy, I hope not. I mean, we're getting dangerously close to Christmas, and I'm just saying, Christmas is where all games kind of like drown each other. I mean, you're already pretty much there in November, but October, November, I kind of treat that kind of like September. Like, it's still a strategic month in my eyes to release a game. But if Bungie does delay it again, oh boy, that's going to be a big yikes for me. On top of that, the fact that Season of the Arrivals is going to stretch from now all the way until November 10th. Holy hell. The hell are we going to do, man? I can only grind so many bounties. And just looking at like the roadmap's not exactly even full of stuff. So I even went into this season with the expectation that there just wasn't going to be a lot to do. Not only are we going to have kind of little to do, but we're also going to have this extra month and a half to 2 months before the big expansion. First world problems, right? Now, the only way I would be like, okay, listen, guys, pushing things back to November 10th is a strategic move. Is if Bungie came out and was like, we need to wait until November to get the anti-cheat system in. Oh, okay, Bungie, I see you. Nah, man, hey, man, take y'all's time. Do what you got to do. Now, the other side of things is the unforeseeable things, like Halo Infinite, right? Isn't that supposed to be releasing this coming up fall? You do got Cyberpunk, you got a bunch of other new games, but not just that, you also got next-gen consoles, which I really don't even know what the actual date is that they're releasing. They all just say holiday 2020, which November territory is definitely holiday 2020 territory. I have seen a chain of events though that has occurred with all of these games getting delayed, and they all kind of say the same thing, that it's COVID related, and that could very well just be it. Maybe it is the pandemic that's actually pushing everything back. Part of me really just thinks that considering how beefy the next-gen consoles are, and I don't know when developers actually get their hands on it, but I'm assuming they're getting their hands on it now to go ahead and start pre-development for the releases. I feel like all these studios are like, we got to actually tune our game differently here to accommodate next-gen, which if you're a Destiny 2 player, this is a good thing. You need this, fellas. Look, when you play 60 frames or more per second on Destiny 2 with a nice, beautiful 100 plus field of view, you're not going to care how long it took to get there, okay? Or maybe you will, but it's going to be worth it. You're going to be having eyegasms, you're going to see the light, and you're never going to go back to dirty. And I'm not trying to rag on current gen consoles, but they're outdated. Destiny 2 has been needing a facelift for my console players for a long time. You want to know why you can't experience a more variety sandbox on console like you can on PC? Well, it's because of the limitations that you have hardware-wise. Of course an auto rifle is going to perform better. 30 FPS, a full auto weapon, 70-something field of view. Your hand cannon's gonna be kicking like a mule. It's not just because it's a controller, it's the fact that you have all these limitations there. The fluidity of the game looks terrible. So if Bungie actually gives us some more details, probably in the coming up TWABs, letting us know what exactly is pushing the date back, and even giving us some information on next-gen consoles. Boy, what I would give to just see next-gen gameplay. Probably not gonna happen until the Xbox Live event. That'll be occurring this month, and yes, we'll be live streaming it. Destiny 2 might actually be on that list, and we might actually get to see next-gen gameplay of it. And who knows? The other side of things is ray tracing, right? How are we gonna incorporate that in Destiny? Oh boy, gonna be sexy, man. Well, fellas, let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you okay with this pushback? Does this ruin your plans? Honestly, this works out perfectly for me. I plan on becoming a Minecraft streamer at some point this summer. Now I'm gonna have an extra month and a half. Oh, it's gonna get nasty. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.